The quarterback is the lifeblood of a football team. He needs protection. Fail to provide it and his job becomes futile. Miami's young quarterbacks did not receive the protection they deserved in their game with the New York Jets. Joe Namath, by comparison, had ample time to throw. Head coach Weeb Eubank put his Jets through rigid drills in preparation for Miami. This was a battle for sole possession of first place in the AFL's Eastern Division. Namath, the incomparable leader of this New York team, stings the Dolphins secondary with a 62-yard heave to Don Maynard. The Jets' plan is to send as many receivers downfield as possible, forcing the Dolphins to isolate one-on-one. Namath with that good protection. Maynard working free for another reception. An 83-yard Jet drive is successful as Emerson Boozer scores. New York has made it a 7-7 game, and George Wilson, the Dolphins coach, is not overjoyed with the news. Earlier in the second quarter, the protection was good. Rick Norton replaced Bob Greasy at quarterback for the Dolphins and pitched a strike to Doug Moreau on his first attempt. Next, Norton handed to Joe Auer, who bolted for 23. The New York defense a little dismayed after this show of power. The touchdown that gave Miami an early 7-0 lead was scored by Sam Price. With only 56 seconds left in the half, here's Joe Namath taking the field. Namath, the drop-back passer. Complete to Emerson Boozer. Boozer spins away from Pete Jaquist and scores his second touchdown. The Jets own a 16-7 edge at halftime. Third quarter, Namath surprises. He fakes, he rolls right, pinpointing George Sauer. Be mindful that Namath's not doing it alone. The pass blocking has been tremendous. Namath to Boozer again, this time for 33. The Dolphin defense chases Namath one way. Joe turns and throws in the opposite direction to Mark Smolinski for the touchdown and a 23-7 New York margin. Jerry Philbin rushes. New York's defensive ends have been especially rough on Miami quarterbacks. Ralph Baker intercepts. The Jets are beginning to shape up as a team to beat in the East. Namath passes for 415 yards in this game, a career high. Namath's uniform is hardly soiled. The protection has been that solid. A swing pass to Boozer, and the elusive halfback has his third touchdown. New York over Miami, 29-7. Coach Wilson's Dolphins drop to third, and the Jets are on top in the Eastern Division. With Joe Namath passing better than ever and the ground game moving, it could be the start of something big. Way back in the beginning, the word football was used to describe a sport that consisted of only two elements, a foot and a ball, nothing else. Today, the game has exploded with a running play and the forward pass. but a foot against the ball was almost the determining factor when the Houston Oilers met the Denver Broncos in Houston. One kick and begat another. In the first quarter, Denver's Bob Scarpetto punched to Larry Carwell. The rookie eliminates all the middle ground, putting the Oilers in scoring position on Denver's 29. But the Broncos' forward wall, led by Dave Costa, stops the Oilers at the 8-yard line. On 4th and 3, the Oilers refuse to gamble on the first down. John Whittenborn boots an 18-yarder. Houston leads 3-0. Denver has the ball on their own 30. They need a 70-yard march for a touchdown. But there's always the big play to cut down the distance. Charlie Mitchell navigates the far sideline and slices the scoring range in half. Houston boasts a powerful defense. It is not an empty threat. Balked on the Oiler 31-yard line, Denver sends specialist Rick Duncan in to earn his keep. This 38-yarder does it nicely, tying the score 3-all. Oiler coach Wally Lim gambling on a rookie quarterback, Bob Davis. Davis doesn't see any receivers open, so he runs. And run. And run. Gross yardage 70, net 6, result a fumble, giving the Broncos possession deep in Houston's backyard. Coach Lim's criticism of his defense is that they spend too much time on the field. But when the Oilers' defense is on the field, they make their presence felt. This is almost a Steve Tinsey pass to Al Denson. Thank Houston's Miller Farr. However, the Broncos are close enough to make 3 points. Rick Duncan's 31-yarder gives Denver a 6-3 lead. Talk about the breaks of the game. Ask Coyle Granger. Houston's up-and-coming fullback carries 3 times for 55 yards in its last drive of the first half. 4th and 1 on Denver's 2-yard line. A missed block and a spirited Pete Duranko throws Sid Blanks for a 2-yard loss. But in the modern game of football, putting the ball through the uprights is only 3 points. A man carrying that same ball doubles the number of points. Miller Farr steals Tinsey's hurried pass. The punishment for stealing goes against the Broncos, not the Oilers. The theft gives Houston a 10-6 victory over Denver in a modern game called football that has little to do with the old simplicity of a foot against a ball. The forward pass is the most explosive weapon in professional football. These are the men who catch them in the American Football League. Perhaps the 3 best in all pro football are from the San Diego Chargers, Lance Alworth. From the Buffalo Bills, Art Powell. And from the Kansas City Chiefs, Otis Taylor. Defensive star Tom Yannick is the key to the success story of All-Pro Lance Alworth.
Well, I think it's his speed mainly. He runs at a real slow. It looks like he's just barely moving. He's a real easy runner, but he's real quick once he makes his break, and he's hard to catch up with afterwards.
Alworth isn't big, but he's strong and he can fly. All-Pro cornerback Butch Bird also has great respect for Lance.
Well, Lance is, what makes Lance so tough to cover is his great speed. He's just quick, very fast. He's about a 9.7 sprinter, and he just outruns you most of the time. Lance has been working pretty hard on short moves, type of moves that try to get the defender up on close to him, so again he can turn on his burst of speed and get by him. His short moves have really developed, but still it's his overall speed and deep patterns that really make him dangerous.
As to Allworth's best pattern, Butch Bird calls it
the streak. That's where he utilizes his speed more than anything else. He starts off and just heads straight down the field as fast as he can go. Lance is so good, you usually know when that streak is going to come. But he's so good that he just runs it anyway and catches a touchdown.
According to Tom Yannick, Lance has no deficiencies.
Well, if he has, I haven't noticed them yet. I wish somebody would tell me.
Art Pal, Buffalo Bills. Butch Bird and Johnny Sample tell how to best defend against him.
Art can go either long or short equally well. He's a fast man. He's a strong man. His short patterns are tremendous. His deep patterns are tremendous, and this makes him tough. You can't play for one or the other. You have to play him either for both the short pattern and long pattern. But he can give you an out move, he can give you an in move, he can go for the touchdown or come back. You just don't know what to expect. Well, I used to try to run into Art quite a bit, try to bump him and run with him. Sometimes it was successful and other times it wasn't. It's just really too tough to really put into words how to play Art. He's just a good ball player.
And then there's Otis Taylor, Kansas City Chiefs. Some claim he's the best. Johnny Sample explains why.
Well, for one thing, Otis is large and fast. He's about 6'3 and a half, 6'4", and he runs the 100 in about 9'8", 9'7", let's say. And his tremendous height and jumping ability helps him as well as his speed.
Well, the big thing about Otis is his physical ability. He's a big, strong, fast man. He's tough to hang on to after you get a hold of him because he has the strength to pull away from you. He's fast and he's tough.
Well, he has great hands. He catches a lot of balls stretching with one hand and, you know, really diving for the ball and catching it with one hand. He does this well.
Around the league, it's generally agreed that Otis Taylor, a 3-year pro, has a lot of things to learn, but as the years go by, he'll learn them. Someday, he could replace Lance Allworth as the premier receiver in professional football. These are football's finest receivers at their best. Defensive backs stay awake nights figuring ways to stop them.
Well, I don't think any receiver has any major weaknesses. You might think he has, and then the next time you look around, he's going for a touchdown.
After a couple of bad days at the office, you tell the boss you'll do better. You come to work early and you joke with friends. They've had some bad days too, and they try not to let it show. But you are determined. Your luck must improve. You will do better. Your job may depend on it. The San Diego Chargers kick off to the Buffalo Bills. And it looks like this might be Buffalo's day to break a 2-game losing streak. Tom Flores is the starter in the Bills' 2-quarterback system. And Keith Lincoln is still the top ground gainer. Mike Mercer's field goal shoves Buffalo ahead 3-0. But now the Bills' defense must contend with one of the passingest teams in professional football. With double coverage and All-Pro Lance Allworth, Willie Frazier, number 83, is open. John Hadel is a smart quarterback. When a receiver is hot, Hadel burns his hands. Another look shows how that post pattern pays off. From the one, rookie halfback Dick Post rams over. The Chargers lead 7-3. Tom Flores threw 5 interceptions against Boston last week. He still is not on target. The undefeated Chargers jolt the Bills by running up the middle. With veteran Paul Lowe injured, number 22 Dick Post must carry the ground threat. But Buffalo's defense knows that the Chargers are to win. It will be through the air. Knowing it and stopping it are two different problems. Hadel's 5th completion with Willie Frazier boosts San Diego to a 14-3 advantage. The Bills must get to Hadel. They gamble with a safety blitz. But Lance Allworth is where the safety would be. He beats cornerback Butch Bird to the Buffalo 4. Watch the fellow they call Bambi get those extra yards with terrific balance. John Hadel continues to stymie Buffalo. His 11th completion of the half is to Jack McKinnon. Chargers 21-3 at intermission. In the third period, San Diego's passing game sets up 2 field goals for a 27-3 advantage. Jack Kemp is now the Buffalo quarterback, but the Chargers don't seem to care who they manhandle. Scott Appleton recovers for 6 points as former Bill star Tom Day enjoys a 34-3 San Diego lead. Jack Kemp tries again to rally the Bills. A screen to Keith Lincoln. The one-time San Diego favorite scores Buffalo's first touchdown in 3 games with a 60-yard scamper. But the Chargers are still comfortably ahead, 34-10. Jack Kemp is getting better protection in this game than in recent encounters. But San Diego's Kenny Graham in the right place at the right time. The powerful Chargers turn the interception into a 3-pointer for a 37-10 margin. On the final play of the game, the Bills add 7 points the hard way. Lincoln's score makes the final 37-17. The Chargers remain undefeated while Buffalo sinks to a last-place tie in the Eastern Division. Lynn Dawson is the quarterback of the best team in the American Football League. He's an 11-year veteran who holds the #1 position in AFL lifetime passing statistics. Darryl LaMonica is the Oakland quarterback. Until last March, LaMonica was a Buffalo Bill who saw only limited duty. Now he's an Oakland regular. LaMonica believes he's the quarterback of the best team in the American Football League. Both teams are undefeated and playing like champions in the first quarter. Defensive safety Roger Bird gives Oakland the first big break of the scoreless duel. Darryl LaMonica doesn't let Kansas City off the hook. He opens the second quarter with a touchdown pass to Clem Daniels. Oakland's defense does its job getting the ball back for the offense. LaMonica goes back to work on his game plan. George Blanda, 18 years as a pro. his first season as a Raider. He's another important reason for Oakland's success this year. Trailing 10-0, Kansas City realizes this Oakland squad isn't the same one it slaughtered 48-0 in preseason. Flanker Otis Taylor is the one chief the Raiders fear most. Take two teams of equal strength and it becomes more strategic than a chess game. Lynn Dawson makes a great move to Gene Thomas as fullback. At the half, Oakland 10, Kansas City 7. In order to be a contender, you must be able to defeat the champion. It requires equal efforts by both the offense and the defense. Oakland's forward wall is like the Rock of Gibraltar. George Blanda's called on again. A 33-yarder in the third quarter makes it 13-7. His 42-yard effort in the final period hikes the Oakland lead to 16-7. In pro football, the safest way to avoid trouble on the kickoff is to boot the ball out of the end zone. This one isn't. It's taken by Nolan Smith. He's only a little guy, 5'6", 154-pounder. He's known as Supernet. It's 3rd and 7 on the Oakland 17. The play starts out like a Mike Garrett sweep. It winds up as an Otis Taylor touchdown. Oakland 16, Kansas City 14. The difference in the game so far has been the inspired Oakland defense and George Blanda's 3 field goals. Now Clem Daniels breaks loose. Mike Garrett's touchdown pass to Otis Taylor took Oakland by surprise. Darryl LaMonica dips into his bag of tricks and comes up with this one on first down. Billy Cannon applies the shocker. Oakland 23, Kansas City 14. Mike Eischeid kicks off. Pint-sized Nolan Smith takes it 2 yards deep in the end zone. The Chiefs need good field position, and Smith gets it for them. They say pro football is a game of third downs. Up to this point, the Chiefs have made only 4 of 12 third down situations. However, this 55-yard Dawson to Chris Burford pass gives Kansas City a first down on the Oakland 6. Mike Garrett makes it around the left side for the score, but Oakland's defense stops the Chiefs the rest of the way. History repeats itself as the Raiders, who were the last AFL team to beat the league champion Chiefs in 1966, do it again in '67. Final score, Oakland 23, Kansas City 21.